Hi everyone. I wanted to share with you today this little project I made from All Wrapped Up. If you go to page 17 in the booklet, page 13, you'll see this little triangle box. And school is going to be starting next week, and I wanted to make a little project for my daughter's teacher. This little triangle box is really cute. I'm not so sure I liked all the popped up sides out of it, so I just decided to make the one-dimensional, well, it's actually going to be a three-dimensional project in the end, but I didn't want to pop these triangle sides off of it, nor did I want the flowers. So I wanted to show you quickly how I did that in Cricut Craft Room. Now, as you know, Cricut Craft Room is having some issues, but it's in beta testing, and people need to kind of keep that in mind, because whenever you beta test, the reason that they're doing that is to make sure that these glitches are fixed before it goes out to everyone in the general public. And your recommendations really help them in tweaking the program to make sure that it's good. So I pulled up on down here on the Imagine cartridges, I pulled up All Wrapped Up, and I chose the little box that I wanted, the triangle box, which is, where is it here? It's right here on the Imagine pad. And once I brought it up, it had the patterns that come with All Wrapped Up, but I really wanted to use Blossom. Because it is the end of summer and the flowers are starting to fade and fall is coming, I kind of want to make one last summery project. So in order to fix the patterns, you don't go back here again to choose the cartridge, you go over here. Right now I have it on Kate's Kitchen, and you just simply go over, click, and choose the cartridge you want, and I'm going to choose Blossom. So I scroll up, and there's Blossom, and I double click on it. Now, in order to edit each section of this, you click on the object, and when you click on it, let me decrease this screen down here, and you can just decrease this by scrolling down here and kind of pulling down on the little bar. But when you do that, you'll see this little Edit Group button, and you just click on Edit Group. It'll take you into this screen, and then you can choose each section of this image, and by choosing it, then you can change the pattern over here to whatever you want. Over here on this side, you just click whatever you want and it changes the pattern. And so once you get it the way you want it, I chose kind of the green pattern paper for the background here, this pretty stripe, and just a blue pattern for the other two triangles. You want to go up and hit exit. So now I have the pattern. I also went to my Mother's Day bouquet cartridge, just regular old Cricut cartridge that I have, and I pulled up some flowers because I'd like to put a few flowers here and there on the outside of the box, and perhaps even make a card to go with this little set that my daughter will take her teacher. The next thing I want to do is go up to the button here that says Go, and it's the cut button, and I have my Imagine currently hooked up to Cricut Craft Room, and you'll see this icon. Currently, I can't find a way to get rid of this big pink line. I can't stand this border that comes up on these, and I know on your Imagine, thanks to a follower here, told me that I could take it off, and I was able to do that under the options screen on my Imagine. I also was able to do that on my Gypsy. Unfortunately, with Cricut Craft Room, I have not been able to figure out how to take this border off. Now you'll notice on the flowers, there's no border currently, but if I were to add a pattern to this, then a border would pop up. So I'm not sure right now if there's a way to get rid of that or not, but as soon as I know, or if someone out there knows, let me know, because I'd love to get rid of this border, because I went ahead and printed this out. And you'll see it's got this great big border on it, and when I take it off, there's still going to be a little pink edge. I figure it won't matter because most of the edges will be tucked into the box anyhow. But it's going to have a pink trim, and I'm going to have to deal with it. But you can see the flowers that I cut out here, they don't have that trim. But I'll show you if I can here. If I go to add a pattern to it, I'm going to cancel my cut, and I'll edit one of these flowers. And I'll just add a little pattern here, a green little pattern. Now I have a pattern on it. Let's go to cut. See if perhaps maybe it won't do it this time. I've noticed that sometimes something that I think is going to work, no, see, actually now this one's going to work. I'm not sure why that's the case, why there are certain things that show a border and then there's other things that don't. I can't quite get it figured out. So if anyone has any suggestions on how I can get rid of the border on some images and not others, I would love to hear it. Until then, if you can get into Cricut Craft Room, make sure you do try and mess around with it a little bit. Don't do anything that you want to save your project, because currently they've had a few issues with, projects failing. But you can see right here this little help and feedback tab. If you click on that, you can leave feedback. It's the top option. You click feedback, you'll be taken to another screen and you can fill out kind of the issues that you're having, and then they know what they need to work on. And there's a few glitches when you're talking about having how many different cartridges, plus there's going to be issues on certain cartridges and making sure the overlays are okay and making sure everything's functioning the way it should. So really, it's really helpful to give your feedback and try not to get overwhelmed by this, because there are problems right now. That's why it's in beta test. That's what the point of beta test is. So if you get a chance to get on and play, or if you're allowed to get on and play, do so and give Craft some suggestions on what needs to be done. Thanks! Okay, one more thing I wanted to add. I'm having to recut out this project because I didn't change the pressure. It's set on 3, and even though I had my blade set to 6 actually, I didn't change the pressure, and this happened. They won't come out. So I just wanted to show you that make sure you change these settings. They don't hold true every time you cut. I've changed these before, but when you come back and do another project, you have to reset these options. Okay, now that I have my little triangle cut out, you can see there's still a little bit of pink border on there, but I went ahead and took my micro tip scissors and trimmed it off a little bit. And now I'm going to use my Martha Stewart scoreboard. It comes with this nice triangle thing. This is perfect for this project because you want to score on these lines here. And so it allows you to set up this project so that you can score straight down against the triangle. So now I'm going to do that. I'm just going to score on all of these lines. Anytime you see a line where the pattern paper has changed, that's where you're going to score this project. Okay everyone, I'm going to show you now how to assemble this box. My daughter is holding my camera for me, so she's going to try to hold it really steady so I can show you. Now you'll see there's 2 tabs on this side of the box and 1 tab on this side of the box. This tab is going to close the box, and this tab here on the flat part of the triangle, this I'm going to put some sticky stuff on. So I'm going to put my adhesive across that. The box folds pretty easy. I want to stick this side down here. So I'm going to line up the edges and stick it down. And then I have this nice little flap here, like this, that all I'm going to do is fill this with goodies and put a little sticker on the edge of the box, and then you have your pattern. Now I noticed that my patterns here, I didn't think it would come out this way by my alternating pattern on my paper, but it did, so maybe it's best to have 2 patterns next to each other on Cricut Craft Room. Thanks!